Nutrition might be the most confusing part of wellness. People have some very strong opinions about dieting: keto, vegan, low fat, high carb. But if you look closely, a lot of those arguments start to fall apart. There are things that work well for me that other people look at and think would be way too much to handle. And that's okay. People have different taste preferences. Some people have strong aversions to certain foods. And many people have cultural traditions around food that they will never give up. And honestly, I don't think they should have to. There are often creative ways to adapt traditional foods so they still fit into a wellness centered diet. I've had years of practice adapting recipes to traditional favorites so I don't miss out on all the fun. And I would be more than happy to show how I do it. You'll start to notice a pattern. There are a lot of simple substitutions that I repeat because they work well for both the flavor of the dish and the consistency. All of that is part of why nutrition advice is not one size fits all. When people argue which diet is superior, they often ignore a pretty simple reality. Thermodynamics applies to everyone. If you consistently eat fewer calories than your body burns, you will lose weight. But that's a very surface level view of nutrition. Because undereating slows your metabolism over time, and it's very difficult to sustain when you're constantly hungry. Nutrition isn't just about losing weight, it's about nourishing your body, giving it what it needs to function well. So I try to keep nutrition fairly simple. For most people, a great starting point is focusing on a few things. First, protein. Second, fibrous, non-starchy vegetables and berries. Third, drink plenty of water. Now, I know protein and fiber are very popular right now, and a lot of people feel pressure to get their protein like never before. And the drumbeat for fiber isn't exactly getting quieter. But the reason I focus on these foods is not because they're trendy, simply they are very satiating. Foods that are high in protein and fiber tend to help you feel full longer, and that makes it much easier to maintain a reasonable calorie intake without constantly feeling hungry. And try to focus on foods you can eat in satisfying volume while maintaining a reasonable calorie intake. At the same time, I don't think people should completely disregard fat. Fat plays an important role in things like hormone regulation. And carbohydrates aren't necessarily evil, but we also live in America. A lot of our carbohydrates come in the form of highly processed foods designed to be addictive while providing very little nutrition. So focusing on whole foods that are high in protein, vegetables, berries, and drinking plenty of water becomes a very simple way to crowd out a lot of that low nutrient food. And don't have to be perfect. You just need a few things moving in the right direction. And if you'd like help figuring out what that might look like for you personally, I offer individualized, in-home wellness coaching. Lower the barrier to wellness and see how much better life can feel.